Okay, what is up, Storm Chasers? We are live. I gotta get my camera angle right and get that itch together. Now, tonight we got a few things we got to get into. I don't know why I'm busting out of this jersey like this, but we're gonna have to just make it work for tonight. So before I get into everything, let me know you can hear me and see me good. Okay, we're going over the subway shooter. We got to talk about Maino and him wanting to be whipped by a white woman. I want you guys to hear the video. Hear the audio, excuse me, and then, so you can understand the proper context. And then last but not least, of course, we got to talk about Benzino being outed, okay? Benzino ass being outed. So, Cat BX said, we hear you. Okay, bet. So we finna get right on into it. We're going to go ahead and share this screen. All right, and let's start with literally, do I have a picture? Well, video do it better. Okay. So literally now we're going to talk about Maino. Now, for everybody that's saying who, real quick, Maino is a rapper. I couldn't really tell you what his hits were. Like, he was big in the mid-2000s, I want to say. Like, I feel like it was him, Mims, This Is Why I'm Hot. I feel like he was really, like, big in that mid-2000s era. Like, that was, you know what I mean? Like, that was, like, junior high for me. You know what I'm saying? But he's an ex-felon. On the outside looking at him, he is someone that you would see as, I guess you can say the quote unquote alpha male. I hate saying that word, but we're going to say that word today to describe him, and it's going to make sense after we listen to everything. So here are some pictures of him and actual pictures of his face. Okay. Now, when you look at him, tell me if you see what I see, right? First off, of course, he got, he's tatted up. He got the tattoos and shit, right? So you would think thug. You would think strong man. You would think like he's that guy. You would literally think that, right? I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping. You would think that, okay? So, oh my God, y'all said Kunta is a better name for him. Damn, y'all goes the hell in. All right. So he just gives tough guy because he literally lived that street life. Okay, but here's the thing. Look into his eyes. Since I've been really studying spirituality, I've really been paying attention to people's eyes. Because they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, right? When you look at his eyes, tell me you don't see sadness and tell me you don't see depression. Tell me you don't see it. And if you don't agree with me, you can tell me, hell no, Storm, you tripping, you totally off. But I see a certain sadness behind these eyes. Amy says, I always see Maino in black. He always wears black. Yes. The eyes are indeed the windows to the soul. The eyes speak when the truth. Yep. They say, I correct. Who said I see broke? Stop it. I see it. I see it. Depression for real. He looks like the typical Brooklyn ninja. And a lot of them are depressed, whether they know it or not. Facts. Okay, Kat is saying she see broke. I'm going to leave that part alone. But I say all that to say, unfortunately, that's how a lot of black men walk around here looking. But let's get to his lip service comments. Lip service is this damn podcast that's been around for the longest, where for some reason these celebrities go on here and give us all kinds of details about their sexual exploits that we didn't want to know. Ninjas then told us that they learned how to tongue kiss from their mama and then try to go back and double back. But nah, Ninja, you meant what you said. Then Maino done said what he done said on here today. And he came out now and said it's a joke. So we're going to listen to it, give context, commentary, skate it poppin'.
So would you say that you're a freak or not really?
What constitutes a freak?
Like if somebody asked you if you were talking to a girl and she's like, are you a freak?
The grandchild that stopped.
Damn.
Yes, yeah, possibly. I mean, I don't think that I'm outrageous. I don't think I do anything, out the ordinary.
You're like a traditional.
Yeah, traditional. Come put me in my place. Come sit on my face. Come put me in my place. Come,
He said, come put me in my place. Come sit on my face. Now, he started off by saying, I don't think I do anything all that crazy. I don't think I do anything all that unusual. But then he went and said, put me in my place, sit on my face, which means he doesn't think this is abnormal, which means to me, what I'm hearing is a man that is submissive sexually. I could be wrong. But from what he's describing, he's submissive sexually, right? A lot of men are into being dominated. That's what a lot of people don't know. This is what I'm trying to open up y'all eyes to. The way people be presenting themselves on the outside versus what they do behind closed doors. Y'all give ninjas way too much credit. I'm just kidding. And typically, it is the opposite. Now, there's nothing wrong with sitting on a face. No, it's not. However, he said, put me in my place. So he likes a dom. He's on the submissive side of the scale sexually. Sexually. All right, let's keep listening.
Let's have fun.
Okay, sit on your face. You like that? What would you say that you do that's a little like out of the ordinary?
I don't think I do nothing out of the ordinary.
Nothing?
Nah, I don't think I think, sex, oral sex, all that is pretty standard nowadays.
Mm-hmm. What if a girl's like, slap me?
Oh, no, I did. I did like role play before.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I did role play.
What were you?
He said, I did role play before. He has done it before. Okay, let's go.
I like role play with white women.
What was the character? You white women?
Have I been with white women?
I didn't know.
I've never been with white women.
What was this role?
I did it for INCEL. What do you mean?
Shut up.
What are you talking about? I did it for all of them.
Nicole says, a lot of men do like to be dominated and some like the woman to take control. And yes, I get it. And there's nothing wrong with that. To me, I would not have assumed that looking at him, but this is why you cannot judge a book by its cover. This is why. Because I'm just like, you want the woman to take control? That sounds, what? That don't even sound right to me. But, what do I know? I'm just a lame. Let's keep going.
Did you like that?
Huh?
No, what was the role play? Yeah.
The role play.
What was the roles?
This feels like it's going to be so wrong.
It's so wrong. I'm going to tell you right now. I've never talked about this.
Shit.
I like to be like a runaway slave.
Okay, no.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
I like to play like a runaway slave.
Okay.
I like to play like a disobedient slave with a white woman.
So tell me like what you say.
He's definitely into race play, and he likes to do that with white women. Notice, I like to play a slave. Sisters, he ain't gonna let you be the head of him. He ain't gonna let a sister whip him. He's not gonna let a sister be his dom. He's gonna let a white girl do it. All I'm gonna say is Cynthia G is right once again. I didn't know people was into race play like that, but now we are openly saying that. I don't know what in the hell is going on this year, but everybody's being open with things that I'm really wishing they would have kept to themselves. All right, let's keep going. Another Toby. Let's keep going.
Yes, Mesa. I'm sorry.
It's just two. It's two of them. Like it's like me getting whooped, right?
You get whooped?
It's like I play like you whipping us, but most of them don't want to play like that.
It's me getting whooped. So not only does he like to be dominated, degraded, he then likes to be hit. Come on, nah. My problem is I don't have an issue with him liking that. I have an issue with him only letting a white woman do it. Because you're putting her above you, saying because she's white, she is the only one that can dominate me. But she ain't got nothing different than a black woman. So why can't a black woman whip you the same damn way? You want this specifically with a white girl. Why? Now I'm starting to believe a lot of these stories we done heard about ninjas back in the day and shit happening to them. Them niggas might have been into that shit for real. I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is what white woman goes along with this.
They don't want to play like that. This is like, listen, you're gonna act like your master's husband or wife.
And I'm the runaway.
And I just got whooped by Massa for eyeballing you. But the whole time you've been really, you like it. You've been eyeballing me.
Oh, this sounds like some freaky porn. I'm interested.
Right, this is some freaky shit. And then
so I just been whipped by Master. meaning a white man just put me in one of the most submissive positions. Now this is fantasy, this is imagination. I mean, this did kind of happen back in the day, but this is his imagination, his fantasy, but I want you to walk down it. I'm not expecting it to be rational, but let's just walk down that path, right? We know in real life, Massa was not only whipping the slaves, the male slaves, he was also what? Buck breaking them. He was also buck breaking them. And not just buck breaking them in here. Wasn't no lube. They weren't using no lube back then. They was spinning that ass and going in it. In front of your kids, in front of your wife, in front of everybody. Your ass sweating, squealing and all. Just had to take that shit. These slave movies y'all be watching, that shit don't even show you the half of what that shit really was. For real, for real. So in real life, he would have been buck broken and beaten in front of everybody, in front of his black queen. But then he gonna go and then, okay, but now he wants a white, okay, all right.
I'm gonna come all sweaty, right? Just finished getting whooped
and fucked.
And you gonna say, no, Billy Joe, no. Master's not gonna like it. He's not gonna like it. I said, this is on script. It is on script.
So white women have gone along with this and done this.
He's speaking from experience.
Nobody really went along with it. Like, I stood up on the wall and said, come on, let's act it out. And he's like, no.
Now he says nobody really went along with it. Yet he says this is what he likes to do. So either you've done it. I'm not buying that. Or y'all buying that ain't nobody went along with it? To me, it's way too detailed for him to have never done it.
Crazy?
What if they call you the N-word?
See, this
comes with it.
This is where it goes deep. And this is where I'll probably be canceled after this.
You be like,
here.
Don't say it. Go ahead.
I don't know if I can say this.
Say it.
That's a yes.
I'm going to take Gigi's advice. This is really.
I want to know.
I don't know, because it's not right, though.
But this is fantasy stuff.
This is all fantasy shit, though.
Okay. In the fantasy,
it's all fantasy, but it's very detailed, sir. You have done this multiple times. I don't give a damn what nobody say, and it's just interesting. Now, listen. Somebody was like, "Well, that's literally race play." Like, I get that part, but why engage in that? Why? They they drinking, and these are not, like really like established journalists or nothing like that. I'm not either, but I would have got deeper with it. I know this ain't that kind of podcast, but if he comes on our show, we want to get deeper. Why do you want to be degraded and beat on by WONDABREAD? Why? After you have been beaten and buck broken by the white man. So you're going to get beaten, buck broken, and then degraded, but the ultimate prize for all of that pain is the white woman. Man, why am I sounding like Dr. Umar the more and more I'm talking? Let me just keep going.
Well, in the fantasy world, because of this, nobody's ever did it.
Mm-hmm.
What? So
the other fantasy is that they whipping me and they calling me a nigga.
Why are you doing it?
Right.
So let's say you would want that.
Right.
Y'all, he done that shit. He done that shit. Black man, step away from the podcast, Mike. Step away. Step away from the podcast, Mike. Step away. Step away. This is getting worse. And I'm always expose this kind of shit because the people, they all listen. This is y'all type. Ain't he y'all type? This is y'all type. Now, what I would be, and that's no shade to y'all, but I'm keeping it real. Now, what I would be interested in is what was his upbringing like, and who dished out disciplinary action on him, right? Did he grow up getting spanked all the time? Did he grow up, was his mother the main disciplinarian? I want to know the background of it. Because it's not like he just said, look, I like being dominated by a woman. I like being a sub to a woman. I like a woman to, step on my nuts or peg me, whatever. Nipple play, bite my nipple, whatever. He didn't say none of that. He wants a white woman to do it. And after he's been denigrated by the white man, which basically, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not saying that.
It's crazy.
You disobedient nigga.
Do you think you feel weird after?
Nah.
Okay.
No, because at the end of the day, the black dick will rule.
Rule what? Let me talk in my real voice. Rule what? What is the black D ruling? In this scenario, sir, you have been buck broken by the white man, beaten by the white man in front of the entire plantation, your family as well. Then you go and then get with the white woman who's then going to degrade you some more, but then give up her box. And her box is such a prize that you feel that you have conquered something after having been conquered in the greatest way by the white man. Notice how his fantasy is not even capturing the white girl, killing the slave master, and freeing the whole plantation. We don't even have a Django type of a fantasy. We have I'm gonna get butt broken, beaten, and this white coochie is the prize.
Oh my God.
Is white coochie that valuable? Is it that valuable? Did I miss something? Because last I checked
I do know this woman who used to have sex with this white guy, and he used to call her like the N-word and everything. He used to pay her though to have sex.
Who used to call who N-word?
The white guy, he used to say that to her. Like he would
call her.
Yeah.
So that's different.
But she allowed, like she was okay with it.
That's kind of demeaning. I don't know if this is the same fantasy. Now, like I said, no.
It's literally the same fantasy. I'm gonna leave that there. Y'all can go check out Lip Service if y'all want to look at the rest of that. But I wanted to give it context because shit goes viral on Shade Room Neighborhood Talk all the time. If they don't ever give it context, I wanted to give it context. Okay, so that is what he said. That was the segment. Notice how he said it's okay for him to do race play, but it's not okay for y'all to do it. I am busting out of this fucking jersey. Like, I'm gonna need a schmedium for real. But notice he said it ain't okay for you women to do it. So why is it okay for him to like race play with a white woman, but you can't like race play with a white man? Why can't you like a white man to call you a N-word beat if that's what you into? None of this shit is healthy. I'm talking to Ernest about this because all of this shit just sounds ignorant as hell. Now, somebody told me, Storm, I'm starting a side eye you too. Well, ma'am, while you worried about me and my kinks, I'll tell you, I'm an exhibitionist. I kind of figured y'all would have figured that out by now. But I'm an exhibitionist if you want to know what I do, what I like. Get out my damn business. Now, before we move on to the next topic, all right, let me know. I'm going to just check out in the chat here. What y'all think about me taping in the living room now? Y'all, are you feeling the vibes? Okay, I know the bedroom is a different kind of vibe. Are you feeling these vibes? All right. Stormy into voyeurism. Exactly. Yeah, y'all cool with this? I know I need some more lights in here and shit. I'm gonna need some more over there and over there. I'm bringing you to STL. What part are we going to? Just like it's okay for them to cheat, but not okay for me to cheat. Okay, you like it? You feeling it? Okay, cool. I got to get some more of those like LED lights and have somebody put them all around. Like, let me move so y'all can kind of see it. So basically, like LED lights all around there and shit. So that basically while we going live, you could just be seeing the colors and shit in the background. So, all right. Anyway, Moving right along. Lynn said, wait a minute, Lynn said, I'm a dom, I can read you, Storm. I know that's right, Lynn. Listen. I'm just letting you know. I'm an exhibitionist, and it's okay. All right, so let's move along to the next topic. Is Frank James the next topic? Yeah, I guess so. All right, bet. So let's go here. Let's share. You said come clean on your connector. You know I got people there. I told you I got people in St. Louis. Chesterfield, St. Peter's, Rock Hill. Yeah, on the Illinois side too. Yeah, I told y'all that. All right. Anyway, let's get it popping here. So this is Frank James. Okay, now Frank James is I still have to say alleged, even though he's been captured. 62-year-old oogly ninja who was allegedly the NYC subway shooter. I think 10 people ended up getting hit with bullets. But I don't think anybody died, if I read that correctly. But that ain't important. The whole important is this man has literally turned into a whole damn freaking terrorist. Who says South City all day? Yep. I used to be around there on South City too. Y'all ain't heard that from me. Okay, so he had a YouTube channel that was called Prophet of Truth 44, but after Mr. James here got arrested, YouTube deleted and terminated that channel permanently, okay? In addition to that, the FBI is not only investigating Frank, they will be investigating any channels with Frank James's content on it, and they are also considering making this whole Manosphere Red Pill part of YouTube, I guess, to start to consider it like a terrorist group almost, right? Or a hate group and hate speech. So I'm just letting y'all know it might come a day when Red Pill and Manosphere content will literally be considered hate speech. But this is a oogly son of a bitch. Now, Trey said all y'all YouTubers are crazy. I am crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm perfectly normal. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm actually one of the most normal YouTubers out there. And I'm innocent. I'm an angel. I'm just saying, like, I'm very trustworthy. That's just me. But anyway, let's go ahead and play this video. Let's get into it.
Told police, Alice. Dana, we're here on First Avenue between St. Mark's Place and East 9th Street, which is where Frank James was arrested earlier this afternoon, as you mentioned. We may now know why police say he did not resist arrest. Police sources tell us someone called 911 and said, quote, I think you were looking for me. The Associated Press is reporting, quoting to law enforcement sources, that someone called police tipping them off to their location and they believe it was James. A crowd gathered as 62-year-old Frank James was arrested. He grabbed him and he just put his head down. Witnesses say he was taken into custody.
Don't put your head down. What you put your head down for? What you put your head down for, nigga? That's what gets me. If you gonna do a crime, you bold enough to shoot innocent people, hold your head up high. Say that shit with your chest. With your saggy ass, old ass man titties, nigga. Say that shit out loud. Most of these dudes, they bitches. How you gonna shoot innocent people that had nothing to do with whatever was going on in your decrepit ass brain, and your mammy should have scraped you from her vagina, but I don't think abortion was legal when your daddy implanted you in your mammy, but she should have, you are the egg that should have been scraped out with her endometrial lining. You are the nut that your daddy should have left in a Kleenex. Man, really? All right, let's keep going.
Without incident.
He was quiet. I didn't see him carrying anything because his hands were handcuffed. They put him in the car. He did not say anything.
We used every resource at our disposal to gather and process significant evidence that directly links Mr. James to the shooting. We were able to shrink his world quickly. There was nowhere left for him to run.
Running, he was not. Many people saw him.
How he gonna run as big as he is? Man, he ain't ran nowhere in years. Only thing he done ran to was McDonald's before they stopped serving breakfast at 10:30. Come on now.
Walking around before officers closed in. The NYPD says there were multiple sightings of the suspect reported to them after his picture was shared everywhere.
Crime Stopper tip comes in. reports that the males in the McDonald's on 6th Street and 1st Avenue in the 9th Precinct.
Oh my God.
To the McDonald's. He's not in the McDonald's. They start driving around the neighborhood looking for him.
Literally.
On the corner of St. Mark's and 1st.
This man says he saw James and officers nearby.
Now you will see him, he had bag in this bag, and he was walking in the sidewalk, and he put the bag in the street.
Police sources say he was carrying a backpack.
I saw him, he had bag. Yeah. And he put it in the street. He put the bag in the street. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I didn't call police when they saw the bag in the street, but he put the bag in the street. All right, I'm done.
And had a Metro card on him, a phone, and a Wisconsin driver's license.
33 shots, but less than 30 hours later.
All right, I'm done. Now, I say all of that to say, I wanted to bring that to your attention. Matter of fact, I need y'all to look at him as I describe this, because we're going to go in more detail on this later. Okay, but I ain't keeping y'all all night. Listen, we're going to pretend that it's real because he turned himself in. If it ain't real, then fine. But keep in mind, this YouTube channel is gone, but we're going to pretend it's real because there's a bigger issue at hand. Now, allegedly, according to his browser history, panels he was on, all that kind of shit, this man was an avid Kevin Samuels fan, Manosphere fan, Red Pill fan. Now, I really don't like how YouTubers are out here just putting this on Kevin Samuels, so to speak, because in my opinion, you as a grown man should not be letting another grown man entice you, force you, influence you to do some effed up shit. You got to own that shit. That ain't Kevin Samuels' fault. He's an entertainer. I'm making this point today to start to get through y'all heads, my people, my black people, because we are very emotional people and we fall for shit easily. Don't believe shit these entertainers tell you. Don't follow them. Don't put them on a pedestal. None of that shit. Allegedly, Mr. Frank James here, Prophet of Truth 44, literally said several times that Kevin Samuels is the best thing that happened to YouTube. Kevin Samuels is the only black man that can put a black woman in her place. I'm just letting you know. So for y'all that's saying that's fake, don't do him like that. He feels that you as black women should be put in your place. And that ain't got nothing to do with fake this, fake that. That ain't got nothing to do with Illuminati this, Illuminati that. This is what came out of his mouth. This is what came out of his mouth. He said y'all need to be put in your place and Kevin Samuels is going to do it. Now, ladies, can Kevin Samuels put you in your place? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Okay? Okay. The bigger issue at hand is that Frank James got so caught up in this manosphere red pill content that he literally became a dangerous incel. But as Cynthia G already told y'all, incels are gonna be considered a terrorist group, especially black male incels, period. So a lot of people don't understand what's the manosphere, what's red pill content, what is this shit, Storm? I'm gonna have to, it's gonna be a lot to break it all down, but I'm gonna just give you some key points. The manosphere is basically broken up into 4 different sections. The MRAs, which are the men's rights activists, which are basically just bringing to light issues that men go through, right? You got some white ones that speak on it. You got some black ones that speak on it, et cetera, right? Nothing really too much wrong with that, but that can also be taken to an extreme, right? Then you got MGTOW, men going their own way. There's different parts of MGTOW, right? Which one part of it says never marry a woman, don't get her pregnant, just sleep with her, and just pretty much remain a bachelor for your life because women will do nothing but ruin your life. The government will ruin your life, turn you into a work mule, etc. I'm going to explain more in the video. I'm just giving you the key points, right? But then you also have MGTOWs that literally want nothing to do with women, will never have sex with a woman again, will never talk to a woman again unless they have to. They move far out in the country. They don't want to be bothered. It gets very deep. I could never be MGTOW because my big question is, if all these men are leaving women, who are y'all going to have sex with? That's what I'm wondering. If all the men, it gets deep. I told y'all, Storm gonna tell y'all everything. It's gonna get deep like this V. Although that's some good definition in my chest. I ain't gonna lie. Busting out this mud. Now, if they, you know, I'm very, and I ain't that ninja, and I ain't, you know, I ain't that ninja. I ain't that guy y'all want. So I can be honest with y'all. I'm very suspicious if a man says we don't need women. Nigga, yes, we do. I'm just saying. I don't like how that sounds. Oh, we don't need women. Wait a minute. Back that up. Just back it up. Back it up. No, we need women. We need both. We need balance. You need the divine feminine and the divine masculine. You need both. We're just living in the divine feminine now, at least until year 3000. So as time goes on, you're just gonna see femininity everywhere. That's just what it is. We're just living in that times. But we need both. What I'm gonna do a bunch of hairy hard legs. I always say y'all need to be suspicious of dudes that just always want to be up under their homies like that. What do me and the homies? I ain't got homies like that. What do we have to talk about that much? I'm just saying, like, yeah, you need man time. You need to have male friendships. You need to learn how to love your fellow man, have a brotherhood, yes. But then you need to go home. You need to go home. And if you would rather be with your friends than be at home, then you need to fix your home. But you the man, so you would hit the alpha males. Okay, let's keep going. Now, then you got the PUAs, the pickup artists, right? So technically back in the day, Tariq Nasheed would have been one of those when he came up with like the book that talked about macking. When he really like had that character, that would have been more him. That white boy, that's the tattoo guy. He did a lot of pickup artist content. It's the content that teaches men how to talk to women, how to pick up women. If you go down the rabbit hole of YouTube, it's all there. It's all there, okay? And then last but not least, you got incels, right? The involuntarily celibate men, right? These are men who are really not that attractive to women. They cannot get and obtain the women that they want, especially in the advent of social media. In the last decade, men and women, our eyes are open to all the options we have around the world. People travel more than ever. So now ladies like, you know what? I don't like dudes in Detroit like that. You know what? I'm a fly to Jamaica, get my back blown out. And that is a realistic thing to do. Because you seeing all this shit on social media, or you like, damn, I like 6 foot tall, 6-pack. I like donkey dick. This nigga ain't got that. I'm gonna go get that. So there's a lot of dudes that feel left out. A lot of the average to below average looking dudes in society, they just feel like shit. And instead of getting off their ass and making themselves better so they can get what they want, instead of them understanding where they rank, because I dare say a lot of these dudes around here that's so mad is mad they can't get the hot girl. They get a girl that look like them. No, you need a girl that look like you. And that's okay. That's okay. Everybody ain't gonna work themselves to death to upgrade like Kevin Hart did. You think Kevin Hart could have got E. Nico when he was cleaning funky fungus infested shoes out the mall? You think she would have looked at, oh, I just love this personality. Stop. He was already a star. Stop. Kevin Hart's first wife was a better match for him. And Tori Hart is attractive, but she was a better match for him. I dare say better looking than him, but she was. It is. But you get my point. Even genetics-wise, looks-wise, they fit. I know somebody hear me tonight. Okay, so with that being said, I just want y'all to watch out for the incels of the world, for the people that blame women for all of their issues in the world, because that wasn't an upgrade, but to him it was. To Kevin it was. That's all that was. Kevin cheats the way that Kevin cheats or cheated because he finally got access to box that he had never had access to before. When you got a little bit of clout, you ain't even gotta have no money. You got a little bit of clout, box is thrown at you. Don't let these people in these comments, don't let women in these comments cap. They throw that out there. So imagine being Kevin Hart. He ain't never had that shit when he was regular Kevin Hart. We know short niggas gotta work harder. Unattractive women gotta be smart. Short niggas gotta have money. Come on now. Am I keeping it real or no? Am I keeping it real or no? And if I'm not keeping it real, you can tell me. You see all these short niggas driving Biz, and they're like, oh, white, black, it don't even matter. You can go out LA and see this shit. Short bald nigga get out the car, a bald widget get out the car. He drive a McLaren, a Ferrari, a Lambo, a Mercedes. Yeah, he got to. Look at him. I'm just saying, you gotta have something. When you let a short nigga get some, do he not perform his best? Tall nigga later, bitch, you ride me. Short nigga he dropping in it because he eating you out for hours and hours, because we all got shit we got to overcome in life. Oprah smart and hardworking because Oprah had to be. Do you understand? Don't stop acting like real ain't real. Anyway, due to social media, due to people not socializing, due to people just feeling left out of society, you're going to see a rising of incels. Due to all these fatherless homes, you're now going to see multiple generations of incels. Ladies, it's a lot of dudes drop his whole little body in that thing. Look, why you think the women be crazy about the baby? The baby put in work. The baby put in work. He ain't that strong for nothing. Come on now. You gotta be. And that's no shame to the baby. I ain't trying to get flipped over by my birds in no bowling alley. I don't want no smoke. But your fate ain't been right since you left me. Now, he would laugh at that joke. Calm down. Anyway, I say all that to say, you're going to see more and more of this as time goes on. Ladies, have you ever... Okay, let's talk. Now, we'll talk after the show. Okay, keep this in mind, and then I'm going to take questions at the end. Ladies, haven't you ever seen a guy and you're like, you know what? He's cute. I wish he would just, like, introduce himself. I would actually talk to him if he would just, like, tell me his name. I'm just saying. Ladies, tell me I'm lying. All right. Storm don't know what he's talking about. All right, that's cool. But we're going to move right along from that. And we got to talk about Benzino, who's having just the worst couple of weeks ever. All right, let's get into it. Now, this video was shared by 50 Cent, and then we're going to actually listen to the phone call of Benzino allegedly being outed by transgender actress Shauna Brooks. Let's just get to it.
But then I want to tell you, Mom, this is crazy. She looks at me the way they got you.
Okay, let's go back.
And I'm just now adapting to this type of work. But who I was before, I'm like alpha male. You know what I'm saying? I'm that nigga. Now, yes, I'm saying this shit is all new to me, and I'm trying to be open-minded about it. But then I want to tell you, Mom, this is crazy. She looks at me the way they got you. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not like I even, okay, we're going to look at some of the trends. I haven't even looked at that. I haven't done that. I love porn. I don't watch straight porn. I don't watch it anymore. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm older than my way. I'm a 55-year-old nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna try not to be selfish. Okay, since you're saying I'm being selfish.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about me and what I could be going through when that's not there. And I'm just now adapting to this type of
Now, that's Shauna Brooks on the phone with him. Notice, right? She's going to leave a message after this where she says, I never intended to out anybody. My intent is never to out anyone, but my truth is always T. While it's painful to relive publicly, I'm tired of men only loving girls like us behind closed doors and treating us as if we're disposable when it's no longer convenient. They want you to be their toy on their time. Ma'am, at the end of the day, if you didn't think there was anything wrong with being with you, there would have been nothing to out. It was hard to hear. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. But let's just talk about how Benzino said he's an alpha male and this is new to him. Now, do y'all consider Benzino an alpha male? I'm just saying. This is why I don't like, this is why I don't like all these people learning these words. Because y'all don't take the time to go learn what they mean and y'all just be using them incorrectly. Because an alpha male would not be getting kicked out of the red roof. An alpha male would not be waddling with his that was a going away travel bag type of suitcase. Like when you gone for the long, he would not have been waddling out of a red roof. You wasn't even waddling out of the Intercontinental. You would not have been sharing a room that is $65 a night with another nigga. So y'all split that 30-30. Just saying. Okay. All right. Now, let's go listen to the full actual video.
You don't fucking look bad, I do. You can never look bad. To show them, because see, in this world, you ain't doing nothing wrong. It would be wrong if I did. Can't you get that through your head? You're not looking bad, Shauna.
You see the way he yelling at her? See, a lot of y'all, okay, first off, we need another video breaking down assertiveness and aggressiveness. A lot of people think that just because they yell loud and they talk loud, that they really run at something or saying something important and you really don't be talking about shit. Now, with that being said, she's recording this, which means she planned to leak this all along. But the question, as we're going to listen to this, that I want to pose to y'all, are we going to call trans women women or not? Is it gay for a man to sleep, like, be attracted to a trans woman or not? Because in my opinion, if trans women want to be seen as trans women, simply don't out the dudes that y'all be with. And I'm going to tell you why. Outing him says that inherently you are different than a regular woman. If you don't want to be with him, oh, you ain't going to tell people about me? Okay, cool. I'm done with you and just move on. Or don't be with a dude like that in the first place. Maybe I'm not quite communicating this in the most effective way. Oh, I'm talking different being in the living room. Oh, damn. This is a spirit of education in this room. Damn. Acting like I actually have a master's degree. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, for her to tape this and plan to release it later, you don't even feel like a real woman, in my opinion.
Looking like, hey, it's just a chick and she trying. I'm looking wrong because you doing your. Don't always, this thing is always going to come up in certain ways. But it doesn't take away who you are and the qualities that you have. That's all I'm saying. So it's just that the world's not ready for that. Because believe me, man, they went up on me. It would be a follower just so.
She do look a little bit like Althea. Now listen to what he said. The world ain't ready for this. I'm going to back it up. He said his father would disown him.
It would be a follower just so he would mess with me. She's gonna I'm just now adapting to this type of work. But who I was before, I'm like alpha male, you know what I'm saying? Now, yes, I'm saying it's all new to me, and I'm trying to be open-minded about it. But then I'm like, you just say, wow, this is crazy because she looks, the way they got you looking, it's just, you know what I mean? Like,
All right, so y'all got the point. We're not gonna stay on that too long, but my whole point is I want y'all to look at Benzino here. Hold on. Oh damn, it took it off. All right, I'm gonna put him on the side while I talk to y'all. All in all, in my opinion, Shauna planned to do this the whole time. Okay, now to give Shauna credit, to give the girls, GWORLS, to give them credit, I understand where she's coming from when she says, look, I don't want to be in a closet no more. Okay, it's 2022. Like, nobody cares. And literally nobody cares. However, for her to record them, for her to plan this, for her to leak this, she's somewhere deep down inside of her body and all the silicone that runs through it. And the silicone that runs through it shows that she doesn't even feel like a full woman. Now, I'm going to need the congregation to come together and just decide once and for all, either these are going to be these women. I don't want to say these people. I don't want to be whatever. Either they're going to be considered women or not. Just let me know. Or is there just going to be that third level where trans is just trans and it don't make you gay or straight to be with them? You just like trans. You're trans attracted, which is a whole nother conversation. The shit gets deep, but I'm finna send a link out for you guys. Oh, shit. Oh, this is what I want to talk about too before we move on, but we'll go in deeper details on Patreon. Listen, I feel like this is a humiliation ritual. There is no reason why Benzino should be trending as much as he is. He is not that important. There's no reason why this is coming out now, right? All these old videos, okay? Either he is trying to get back in the industry or this is keeping Koi in the industry. And if we see her star continue to rise, I believe that he's being sacrificed. Not in the literal, like physical sense, but his image, his name. He don't have a brand, but his persona is being slaughtered out here. If you think that media outlets are not being paid to cover this, they are. There are people that do that. Don't none come out for nothing. When stuff goes viral, sometimes it's organic. Sorry to bust your bubble. A lot of times it's planned and paid for. Payola is a real fucking thing. But I almost think that Koi knew what she would have to do in this industry. She then said, you know what, publicly, I'm going to denounce my father, whether I really mess with him or not, it don't matter. Publicly, I'm going to say he ain't shit. I'm going to separate myself so we don't even seem like we that close. So I ain't got to have him off. Okay, cool. He going to be embarrassed and humiliated. Cool. Soon as you get into this industry, everybody's always keeping receipts on you. Everybody is. Anybody you befriend, I'm just letting you know, anybody that you befriend in this industry is always gathering info on you. Roseanne told me that. She said, how you think this person get caught up in this? It don't be the FBI, don't be the police, it be another entertainer that's like, look, if I give you him, will you stay off my ass on what I'm doing? And they do that. That's what they do. That's what it is. So ain't no friends in this industry, and don't tell nobody nothing that you don't mind coming out. And I've always kept that in my head, even, and I ain't in the industry, but just put my pinky toe in it. I've always kept it in my head. Don't tell nobody nothing that you don't mind coming out on camera, because you can't trust none of these people at all. This is what it is. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and put this link in so y'all invite. I think that's right. Yeah. Put this link in the chat. I'm going to give y'all a little time to make some comments, and then we're going to call it a night. Let me pin this. Let's see. Let me pin the link. All right, the link is pinned. So I'm going to just take y'all comments in the meantime. What was said in the audio? I know it was hard to hear, but he was saying that his father would disown him. He would be disowned if this came out. He said that this is all new to him. Speaking of being, it sounds like speaking of being with a trans, it's all new to him. So he's experiencing a lot of things, which I actually disagree with. I think being open and out would be new for him, but I don't believe you get to be 50-something years old and now you're just starting to experiment with your sexuality, especially being in the industry. I don't believe that. So, some questions to ponder before you guys come up. Thank you, George. Appreciate it. Will you date a man who has ever been with a trans woman or who is trans attracted? Does that make him gay or bi? Come on now. I need y'all to come up here and talk about it and give y'all a little time. If y'all don't want to come up tonight, I can call it a night. Or if something else is on your mind, feel free to come up too. Steph said, why protect DL men? It's sick. Good point. Because he does also sleep with women, I'm assuming. Yes. They said no, can't do it. Never. So somebody said no and yes. I still don't know why she outed him knowing he wasn't ready, because I believe she got paid to do that shit. That's just what I believe. I don't want to date a man if he's attracted to men. Okay, so you still consider a trans woman a man. Listen, I'm playing neutral. I just want to know what y'all think, because we got to come to some sort of conclusion, because we all circling around the topic and don't nobody want to, like, just say it. Just say that's a damn man and I think he gay. Just say it. You gonna ban me because you don't like my person? No, I don't know about all that. I ain't gonna do that. Ask a trans woman when was the last time she had a period pain. She can't answer that, then she's no woman. And listen, whenever that argument is used, that I date a guy that's bi, but he has to be open about it. Okay, cool. A lot of girls don't give a damn about dudes being bi no more either. Damn it. Whenever and I hate the term cis woman too, whenever a biological female says that, like, you can't have babies, you don't have period pain, the rebuttal from the LGBTQIA2 plus side is that, well, every woman don't have a uterus and every woman don't have periods. Every woman can't have babies. So does that make her not a woman? Even though that's such a small percentage, I don't like that rebuttal. Is it Naira or Naira? I guess it's neither. She got off. Storm, would you date Caitlyn? Hell no. No. That's a hell no. Like Storm's live, everybody. Thank you, Miss Zaire. The show over now. I forgot to say something, so I ain't tripping now. But I appreciate that super chat. What's going on, Simone?
Hi, Storm. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I just want to say hi. But Storm, I honestly agree with you with this whole Benzino thing. Like, where is he coming from? Where's all of this coming from? And it's just now like all everywhere. And Corla Ray, they keep talking about the 4 songs that she made up that I think I only know 2 of them. It's like, I don't know what the purpose of this is.
I don't either. It has to be humiliation. It just has to be. Otherwise, to me, this makes no sense. So
thank you, Stone. Because I'm thinking, don't they do other things to humiliate? Like, they have to make like real sacrifices. Benzino is not like you
have many in your thing. Some feedback. Okay, I'm glad you muted yourself. But yeah, there's a lot of different rituals. All this stuff is based on what Freemasons do. So Freemasons do have humiliation rituals. Think about fraternities and sororities. Think about hazing. A lot of what they do is a humiliation ritual to show your allegiance to whatever you're trying to join. So it could be a lot of different things, but of course, outing a man's sexuality is top notch. But the way the industry works, they put this shit in your face. Oh, here, do drugs. Here you go. Oh, alcohol. Oh, here you go. Oh, damn. You want to get this done? All right, okay, just give him some head. We get that done. They get you in like that. Now you done shit. Now it's like, damn, you got this over my head. So it's a lot and it's deep. But he don't have to be killed. You can just ruin someone's reputation, and that they'll want to die anyway. But thank you, Simone, for coming up. You have a good night. All right, Ashley, you are up.
Hi, Storm. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
So, I think your question was, would I date somebody that's trans attracted?
Yes.
And I'm gonna have to say no, not for any like bigoted reason, but I just feel like attraction is like a super compelling thing, you know? And so if somebody is, I don't necessarily feel like somebody who's bisexual is incapable of being faithful or whatever, but I do think that like if you want dick, like you're gonna always want dick, and I can't give you that. So
is penis that powerful?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Listen, you hear straight men say all the time, like a hole is a hole, and I could understand that like rationale, but when it comes to like how do you convince a straight man to interact with a penis? Like, right? So I agree with you on your point that like, where did this come from? And if you heard his rapport with the young woman, it was like he was so used to it. He knew just what to say, you know, like so many times when dudes are dealing with trans women for the first time, they trip over their words and they say a lot of offensive things.
That wasn't his first time.
That's how I feel about it.
That wasn't his, because he might come out and say, I was just experimenting. And when you, and I know women don't accept this, but when you learn about sexuality by curiosity is a thing, and experimentation is a part of sexuality. However, that wasn't that nigga first time. The way he was talking, come on now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, he actually sounds like he's not only like used to the community, but educated on the community. And he's playing this role up for us that he's like this knucklehead straight guy, but that's not really Benzino's character, I don't think. And I do want to say I'm torn between believing it's a humiliation ritual and just feeling like it's pure jealousy toward Coy. And I think set off like all of his like I don't know, like inner turmoil about his success or whatever, and losing the source and all of that, and seeing her reach a point at a quarter of where he is in his life of success that he'll never see. He went after her mother first. And then when the two of them kind of laughed it off and like, you're pathetic, you know, he went back to Althea. And then when Althea had a new situation, now Shauna came up out of, but she saw, you know, I won't blame Shauna because right now Benzino's hot. Maybe she wants to get her street out there. Her name on the streets, pardon me. So maybe she wants to put her name out there and she's just trying to throw like oil on the fire, you know, and it's really not personal.
Maybe she is, and maybe it's not personal, but I am going to say this. Due to the stigma that comes with openly being with trans women, well, I take that back. Fuck, it ain't really no damn stigma nowadays, though. You know what, Benzino might as well just say, hell yeah, I did it, and then get some interviews and some speaking gigs on that shit. Thank you, Ashley. You have a good one, all right?
Thank you.
All right, we got Goddess Khadijah. How you doing tonight?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. What's on your mind? Topics tonight?
I agree with everything you're saying, Storm. Like, okay, sexuality is about experience. Like, okay, you're gonna try something once. Okay, now if you try it more than once, that means you like it, right?
Remember what Tank said. Tank said if you suck a D once, it don't make you gay. But then he said once or twice. It's like, wait a minute, sir, how many times?
And like you said on the phone, it was like, all I had to do was have that conversation once. And he wasn't like mad or angry. He was like, you know, Shauna, this is going to just, my reputation, and Shauna, you know, it's nothing against you. I'm like, what?
But I also want y'all to see how fake people are, because Benzino just did an interview on Vlad TV talking about he don't even know what gay people are. Sir.
Yes. Oh my God. You're right. Because when he was talking about his daughter, first of all, I want to say the experience with his daughter, that's your daughter at the end of the day. If she tried it once, at least she tried it once. She didn't like it. Okay. But you, on the other hand, for you to try to kind of laugh it off, like that was kind of weird to me. Like that's your daughter at the end of the day. Like, but then when your dirt come out, like you said, I still believe that ritual. I believe in a lot of this stuff. Like this stuff is like, come on now. It's all third eye vision. Like, come on. Like seriously, like you said, you know, I don't know now. Like you said, people can be fake. And it's like you got interviews going on now. Like you said, how is he this big? Like he got so many interviews. I'm online just scrolling. I'm trying to look at spiritual stuff. I'm looking at you because you're very spiritual. Shout out to you. And I'm just trying to look at more spiritual stuff. And all I see is Benzino this, trans this. And it's nothing. I don't have nothing against trans people. I don't have nothing against LGBT LGBT or nothing like that, but I'm like, this is kind of just throwing me off with the Benzino thing. Like, he got an album coming out or something? Like, what's going on?
Is he trying to get back on TV? You know what I would love to see? I would love to see Benzino have a conversation with either like T.S. Madison or Flame Monroe. And I would love to see that open dialogue, because T.S. Madison then told y'all it's a lot of straight dudes that she done been with, but she'll never out them.
And that's what I respect about her, because she'll rather work for her money. She could have possibly been said a lot of things about a lot of people instead of her just taking the easy route. She's like, I'm gonna work for my coin. I don't care what I gotta do, but long as I'm working for it, I could easily, for that and easily get on like everybody else, but I just rather work. And I respect her and Flame Monroe about that. I respect both of them. Absolutely. Highly respect them for doing that.
Because at the end of the day, they're not using the trans thing as a crutch. So I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you, Khadijah, for coming. You have a good night, all right?
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. Johnny Pace, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Storm.
How you doing?
Good. This is my first time calling in. I've been watching your show for a long time. And you said a comment about the LGBT, not the LGBT, what classifies, or trans people, they classify, they want to be women or something like that, or classify, they identify as women.
Okay, so the talking points that comes from that community are, I, as a trans woman, should be seen as a woman and treated as a woman, just like a cisgendered woman. So my question is to the chat: what makes a woman, or is there a difference between a woman and female? Like what? Because I'm now like, which is it? I'm getting confused. So I'm asking y'all.
So I think the question should be, what defines a man, basically? Because I define a man as a man having a penis. So if you don't have a penis, then you're a woman, basically. There's only two genders.
That's
in my view.
I thought if you have a penis and testicles, you are a male. Then you go through puberty. Then you become an adult male. You reach a certain age, you're a legal adult male. Same thing for a female. Now, they would give pushback and say, well, what about hermaphrodites, right? Then you have some people where things go wrong with chromosomes and you can be biologically a female. No, you can be physically a male, but then physiologically a female, which can happen. That's very, very rare. 0.0001%, whatever. So at the end of the day, when I came out my mama, the doctor said it's a boy.
Yes, because you have a penis and testicles.
So
you're a boy, you're a man.
The doctor didn't say, well, we're going to let him grow up and decide what he wants to be. Like,
no, that's when things get confusing. Because it's your X and Y chromosome.
That's what I thought.
That's what it is. It's not what you thought. That's just what it is. But people like to reclassify things over the years. What fits them.
And my thing is this: I have empathy for someone saying, "Look, I know what I am on the outside. I know I'm a boy, but in my head, I feel like I'm a woman." Now, Native Americans, they call that being two-spirited, right? Which goes even deeper, which means being transgender is a spiritual thing. That goes even deeper, right? But I don't even want to go there. But my whole thing is, I have empathy for that, right? If you live your life as a woman and you say, I want to be referred to as a woman, okay.
I do. I feel what you're talking about, because I do understand. But that's when you get into the lines of maybe like mental illness. More people should be maybe pushing for like mental therapy, other than accepting like, okay, if you feel like a woman, even though you're a man, you should just go ahead and feel how you feel, other than basically trying to advise them like, hey, maybe you are suffering from a mental illness. Maybe it's like body what's called dysphoric
gender dysphoria is what they call it.
Gender dysphoria. So
now, in order for you to get the sex change, right, the bottom surgery, which a lot of them don't do, and that ain't important, but you do have to go through therapy. You do have to show that, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm in sound mind, whatever. So it gets deep, because I ain't gonna lie. If I was to take this question and ask my super Christian friends, they would call all this shit demonic. I'm keeping it real.
I mean, and I'm not even Christian. I don't even believe in religion. It's more so like it's kind of disrespectful to natural women. It's like, okay, so anyone can wear a wig on and claim a woman?
So you feel, this is another conversation we need to have too. So do women feel disrespected?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Natural born women feel disrespected. Like anybody can be within our group and say, hey, I can put on a wig on and go to a girl's locker room and say, yeah, I'm a girl, I'm a woman. And also changing the term to cis women. What is that? I'm a natural woman. I'm not cis, I'm a woman.
It means that. I don't like the word either, because it doesn't make sense to me, but yeah. It's damn. You know what though? Let me ask you this. Because trans people ain't going nowhere, and trans people been around, and they ain't going nowhere. What if we get to a point where you have the men's room, the women's room, and then a room for trans people?
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't feel comfortable if a man dressed like a woman, and it's clear, like if I don't know you're a man dressed as a woman, because sometimes they can pass off as a woman, but you're clearly looking like a man with a wig on, messed up wig on and makeup on, go into a girls' locker room or the gym or a girls' gym or whatever, locker room or bathroom, I wouldn't feel comfortable. Like, when have it been acceptable for, I don't know, it feels like as women, we're not protected once again. Like, I don't see the conversation where women becoming men, and it's like it's always about, okay, in like the sports arena, men transforming into women, they're able to compete within a women's basketball team or whatever. But
which I don't agree with. That's not even fair. That whole Leah Thomas thing with the swimming, how Leah Thomas is number one. Yeah, because you have the body.
Exactly. Man. So why aren't they infiltrating the men's gender group? Like, why are people infiltrating us?
Do y'all see these shoulders? And I'm a little nigga. Do you see these shoulders and traps? Like, women are not built like that. So thank you, Johnny, for coming on. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good. Yeah, y'all don't. Yeah, do you see that? Y'all don't have that. However, I don't have the flexibility of most women. That's an advantage y'all have. What's going on, Love Jones?
Thank you. Bye.
What's going on, Love Jones?
Hey, Storm. First of all, you look the fuck good. I know you said bitches wasn't checking for you when you was in a Kia or whatever else the fuck you was driving in, but I didn't know you. I don't know you, but you look the fuck good.
I appreciate that.
Y'all see them shoulders? Yes, we see them. However, I want to say that I feel like at the end of the day, the chick that was just going before me, the whole cisgender thing, I feel like it's disrespectful. Like, why the fuck do I have to automatically reclassify myself because you doing it? And they also call us fish. When the fuck has fish been a compliment to women? Please, somebody, what in the fuck? If somebody call you fish or say you smell like fish, bitch, you is stanky.
That means you stink, and that's a horrible stench.
You is stanky. So why is it okay for us to accept that and to have to fucking deal with it? That's not fair. Why I gotta be fish?
Now let me, because I remember, oh, this is giving me PTSD. I remember that fish comment that went viral. From what I understood in the interview with T.S. Madison, it refers to a trans girl who looks passable as a woman, saying, yes, you're fishy, you're giving fish. But then that will also mean you look at women as fish. So, okay, your point stands. Your point stands.
It's still a derogatory term. If you fucking with a bitch and you say she fish, what do people think?
They gonna think she's stung. She's stung. Yeah. And I had I've never experienced that like that, but I had a female roommate who was a lesbian. And I remember asking my best friend at the time, I'm like, damn, like the bathroom always smelled like the fish sticks I had in the freezer. No, you know how like you have fish sticks in the freezer and you catch that whiff? Every time she used the bathroom, that's what it smelled like. And then my best friend was explaining, well, maybe she got like a bacterial infection, blah, blah. I don't know, but it smelled like fish sticks is actually what it smelled like.
So for them to call us fish, but we can't say certain words, I'm not going to say them now, but the F word, we can't say certain words because automatically we a hate group now. You get what I'm saying? Like we hate, we phobia, we phobics. I just don't think it's fair that a certain group of people get to make their own rules, but when we denounce it or if we're not in agreement, we are ostracized.
Which is not fair either.
That's not fair. I don't like fish. I eat tuna fish, but I smell good. I be taking herbs and shit. Why people gotta call us fish? And then the whole cis thing. Why do I have to reclassify myself to make another group comfortable? I don't think that's fair.
Ooh. I like, okay.
Like you just said, when you came out, your mama's hoo-ha, you was a boy. Yeah. I was a girl. Now I'm fish and cis and fucking all other types of shit. Like they got me fucked up. They got us fucked up. I don't like it.
So let me ask you, what kind of resolution can y'all? Oh, you said stop calling us fish. You ain't accepting it, period.
I don't like that. Do not fucking call me fish. I'm a fucking goddess. I smell good. I take care of myself. I look the fuck good. I'm a bad bitch. Fish? You disrespecting me.
Point blank. Thank you, Love Jones. And yeah, you do look good. I ain't gonna lie, you do look good.
Thanks.
Have a good one now.
You too.
Bye-bye. I meant to tell you too, Love, before I cut you off, your hair fits you too. Like the hair, the color combo, like you got it going on. I thought you was about to show me nip there for a minute. What's going on, DeJane? Or Dajane?
Dajane, yeah. I did not think he was gonna pick me up, but okay. I agree with the last two ladies. The whole classification, like, you know, the LGBTQ community has all these classifications and they just expect us to like go with it. I mean, that's the same thing with religion. Everybody has free will to choose which religion. Like, I get free will of what I decide or what I want to classify myself. Nobody can tell me that. And then like with the whole exposing thing, like, I don't really get why like trans people try to expose someone when it's because it kind of seems like self-hate. Like, okay, they're supposed to be ashamed that they're messing with you, but it's like you're trying to do something evil because they're messing with you, if that makes sense. So it just seems like it's like self-hate. Like I just don't get it.
It's rooted in that because at the end of the day, if I'm talking to you, that ain't my thing. But if I'm talking to you trans, there's no need for you to secretly record nothing. There's no need for you to be screenshotting DMs. If you just like a regular woman, then it ain't that level of ooh, we're doing something naughty. It's gone.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense. I mean, even when gay men, like, you know, they're like, oh, I love me some straight men because the secretiveness or the, ooh, we're not supposed to be doing this. It's like, what is that? Like, what is that? Like, do you accept yourself? Do you also take on the hate? Do you feel like you're doing something wrong? Like, when you're sneaking around, you're doing something wrong. It's the thrill of it. So it doesn't really make sense to me. And then another thing I want to say,
a lot of gay men are heavily misogynistic too, to keep it real.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So they,
one more thing I want to say just about like the LGBT whatever community. Sorry, don't want to disrespect them, but yeah, I feel like, you know, some men are, you know, women that become or choose to be gay or whatever. It's like it's a masculine and feminine thing. So let's say a little boy is more feminine, like his whole life. And he's going to hear people saying, oh, he might be gay. Oh, he's a little bit this, he's a little bit that. But maybe he's just more feminine. And there's women out there that will enjoy that. But his whole entire life, he's basically being told that he's gay. He's too feminine for a woman to like him or whatever. And I just feel like sometimes that persuades people to be like, okay, maybe I am gay. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I might. Maybe everybody's telling me this, so maybe I am this. And
stay right there. Stay right there. Because that was literally the next point I wanted to make.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe there are some people that are born wired to like the same sex. I do believe that. But I also believe there is a certain part of that population that, like you just said, they didn't fit into society's box.
Right.
Especially if you black.
Right.
Because if you a black little girl, you expected to act a certain way. If you're a black little girl, people assume you a hoe. You ain't even had sex yet. Come on now. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you a black little boy and you ain't an NBA or NFL star, nobody gives a fuck about you. That's just what it is.
Right.
All this being a smart black man, that shit ain't cute until you fucking in your 30s. Other than that, no. Right. So you made a good point. If you are not a strong-minded person and you're easily influenced, and everybody around you is telling you, projecting onto you, oh, you this. Yep. Well, you don't fit in with us because you're that. What about girls that like football? What about girls that like sports? What about girls like Serena Williams that are just naturally more muscular? She ain't fucking gay. She just muscular.
Right. But she'll be classified. That was like me. Like, I was very into sports. I never really had a boyfriend in high school, wasn't sexually active or whatever. And one day my mom literally asked me if I was gay. And I had to sit there and think. I had to be like, But I was like, no, I ain't gay. I'm just a little bit more, I don't know, not traditional. I don't know. But like you said, having that strong thinking, knowing exactly who you are. And that can be a little bit confusing when you're young and people are telling you, oh, you're a little bit too feminine. You might like boys, or you're a little bit too masculine. You eat coochie or whatever, you know?
Is that they say the same thing when women want to cut their hair off. That means she gay. No, it don't. She just wanted to cut her hair.
Exactly.
So thank you, Dodger. Now I'm glad you brought that point up. You have a good night, all right?
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Glad she brought that point up. YB Phony 617. How you doing?
Hey, Storm. First of all, thank you for keeping this conversation elevated. You know, and along with the last four women, I totally agree. When I work in an environment where, you know, everyone uses these pronouns in their signature line, and I refuse to live. My signature line is woman, right? And when you said that the rebuttal often is, well, there are women without, you know, uterus and who no longer have, you know, their menstrual, but they had one at some point, right?
Right.
And so my period. I'm a natural woman. I don't like, I'm in alignment with everyone else. And so my main reason for calling though was 617. I'm from Boston, born and raised there. Ran in circles, you know, connected to we call him Benzino now. And this is something I wanted to point out, right? And I think I really became connected with him probably in around maybe 88, 91.
Oh.
Yes. And so he has always been strange to me, right? I mean, I know Coilery's mom. I mean, like, I'm really in the circle. And so what I want to say to most women out here who are talking to these, you know, guys who are in the industry and run with this bad boy image, all too often they get in the industry, and in order to get into the industry, you're doing things that make you question yourself. So as aggressive as he is with these women and always trying to, you know, emphasize on his manhood and being an alpha male, which I would not call him an alpha male. I question right? Because you can't come home to your wife or your girlfriend after doing. I'm not trying to say like I gotta be careful in how I say this. I have to be careful in how I say this, Storm, because people get feelings will be hurt, right? And so Coi Le'Rae's mom looks just like the transgender, not just like, but they favor. Right.
Oh,
So he
I'm not gonna put a picture up. I'm gonna look though while you talking.
Uh-huh. He has a type, and he is not someone that most women, right? Most women who run after are like bad boys or that whole image. It's something that they're looking for in their man, and he does not have it. From what I understand, and the word around town for many, many years has been that he's in that itty bitty committee kind of group, so his aggression,
a smaller penis. We can just say
smaller penis. Okay, we can say it, right? And so I'm really upset with him because I feel like he needed to seek some help prior to, like, many years ago. This is not something that's new. It's just that we're now living in an era where transgender women are exposing, straight men. Oh, well, they're not straight. So, DL men. And I'm not mad about that because African-American women have a high rate of AIDS for many different reasons. But I want to lean to the fact that how do you keep rolling in bed or bending over soundboards and then going home to your Black woman, your child's mother, your children's mother? And for years, he's been, like he walks into spaces and he got to be seen, he got to be heard. Because all too often, he's not the person that you're looking at, right?
Spirited. Right. I mean, would you be attracted to him?
Absolutely not. And to be honest, he hung in a circle of really good looking men, right? And it makes me question, right? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, as I'm listening to you all night, I'm thinking about the brothers that I knew that hung in there. And I'm like, okay, well, he was sort of metrosexual, like in dress. And like, it's making me question, which means I have a slew of sister friends who I'm now seeing like, my God, you really need to be mindful. And you can't keep looking at people. And poor Althea, right? Because while she was caught up, I knew every time I looked at her, I said, girl, go get you a BDB, because you are not, I know you're not satisfied. That's why you're angry. And he's coming home and questioning himself because you're not being satisfied.
And that's why she screwed Stevie J. Now that makes sense.
And then let's talk, and then that whole connection with him and Stevie J, right? Like, come on, we got to really look at this, because I even look at Stevie J. I question when you have not learned to master your sexual drive or your, that feeling in your 50s, and you still running around here, running through these young women. Like, I just want to shake us. Because it's like, okay, young women are looking for the wrong things. You're looking for these material things in these men who have been, Stevie J has been around for, oh my God, I mean, Eve, like, let's just go way back. We're talking about in the 80s.
He been around some serious, and I'm going to say this too. When they say sex is spiritual, it's a real thing, because when I saw his uncensored and I looked at him, even though his body is in shape and he would look like a young man, his face looked like he don't have no soul no more.
Come on.
Like it's like all of his soul is gone. Like it's hard to articulate, but I don't know. I just think you ain't supposed to be out here like that.
No, you're not supposed to be out here. And that's why when you're looking at our young girls, my youngest daughter graduated with a mass comm degree. And at first, we were looking, she was talking radio and doing this, that, and third. And she took a step back. She's like, I don't want to go into that industry. right? And she's like, I just don't even want to be in a space where there's a strong possibility that I'll be tempted, right? Because you can't help it. They're running around and they're flashing. And I think it was maybe you that had a show once where someone was talking about how half the jewelry that these people are wearing isn't even real, right? So they don't own the cars they drive. They don't own the houses they live in that you see on television. So you get wrapped up with a man who's 20 years your elder. And I say to my girls, for real, I said, do not bring me no old man here, and you better not be laying down with one because they'll give you worms. My grandmother said it, my mother said it, and I believe it. And then they sitting around and they're drinking all this alcohol. Your semen is acidic. They're for real, they're destructive. And women, we have to care about our wombs. That's where our babies come from. And I'm
gonna leave off with this. Everybody talk about the woman having babies over 35. Sperm abnormalities over age 50 is a real thing too. I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. All right.
Thank you, Storm.
Good night now. It's a real thing. I read that last night. Like when a man hits a certain age, his sperm literally starts to have abnormalities. So it made me think to when Kaya be like, you had that old man baby, you got a granny baby, like that's a real thing. Over age 50. All right, IG, what's up? I'll leave it there. Yeah. Thank you. Good night now. So real thing. I read that last night. Like when a man hits a certain age. Okay, IG's listening to me in the background. Can't do that. All right. Yeah, Mia.
Hey Storm, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So I just called in. I found her outing him as problematic. I'm not a Benzino fan by any means, but there's a few reasons why I thought it was problematic. One, in the LGBTQ plus community, it's like a big no-no to out people. Like if a straight person outed a gay person, there would be just like huge backlash to it, right? Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but even like 10, 20 years ago, we had a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community who were committing suicide because they were being outed and bullied on social media and things like that. So it's just a big no-no to out somebody. So that's why I was really confused why she did that. The other issue I had with it is it's like if she has a problem with being kept a secret, well, now that she's outed somebody, the men she wants to date aren't going to want to date her because they're going to be afraid, well, she's going to out me, especially if it's a man who's like Benzino said, he was new to the community or whatever. If there is someone who's legitimately new to the community and who would be eventually comfortable with having an open relationship with her, they probably ain't going to date her because they're going to be worried that she's going to out them before they're ready to be outed. So there's that.
That's literally it. Even though I feel like this is still not his first time, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It probably isn't though, because I agree. He was a pro at it, but like any other, newbie to the community would probably feel that way. And then the last reason I think it was problematic for her to do that is, I don't know if y'all remember, I can't remember what state it was, but it was this woman from Ohio who went on live. She had broken into these dudes' house, saw them having sex, and then tried to blackmail them.
We talked about that on the show when she got killed. We talked about that.
Yes, exactly. So like people be out there doing crazy things to protect their privacy. So why the heck would you put yourself in danger by outing folks? Like, it's just, I don't know. I think all around it's just something that'll get you caught up. So I don't know. I just think it was really problematic that she did that, and it's gonna unfortunately cause issues for her.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm about to actually show what hold on, let me show it real quick while I got you on here. Yep, that was from February 19, 2020. Yep.
Yeah, and I remember seeing I didn't actually see your show for that, so that's pretty cool. But that you covered that. But I remember hearing about that and seeing it, and I just was like, oh no. And the whole time I was watching, I was like, run, sis, run, get out of town. But yeah, that just was unfortunate that happened to her.
Very unfortunate. Well, thank you for coming on, Mia. You have a good night, all right?
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Mel NYC Reviews, you're up.
Hey, Storm, how you doing?
Good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. You know what? I didn't know that this topic was going to be such a hot topic because, I think I live in New York City and I saw everything happening with that guy that was, adding to our anxiety here. And so when the Benzino story, I was like, well, I mean, it didn't seem so shocking. So the thing I want to say is that the lady who exposed him or wherever that is, I didn't feel like the lady did anything any more scandalous than what happens to the politicians. The politicians, come on now, the politicians be up in Washington, D.C., whatever, with dildos and strap-ons and leather and all type of kinks and things. And if they even Trump and so let's not even talk about the gay thing. Let's just talk about what these guys or men or women do in the closet or in the secret, and the people they hire or the people they get infatuated with say, you know what? You're not really treating me good, Monica Lewinsky or whatever, Wiener, whoever this may be, but I'm going to now expose your kinks, basically. So I think that's also embarrassing to people who happen to be in high profile positions, making laws and making decisions. So that happens all the time. So I don't think that she's like the end all be all of exposing. I think it happens all the time in this kind of situation. She just happened to be a trans woman. Now I want to say something too, that when it comes to labeling, I'm a gay black man. And I'm not going around going to all the straight people in the world say, you must, sound like this and look like this. And I don't give a damn what people label themselves as. I don't say cis, gay man or whatever. But I'm not mad at it. I don't go to bed losing sleep over it. If a straight person sees an application, wipe it out. Don't get bothered by it. Nobody in the community is looking for people who are straight saying, you must say cis. At least I'm not. So I think so people getting bothered by that, please don't get bothered by that, because that's not the biggest thing. But when a trans woman in the black community, the LGBT community, they happen to be, unfortunately, the lowest person on the totem pole. They are constantly being killed off for whatever reason. When you do the research, those are the people who are constantly being attacked. So that woman, I bet you that was the first time she videotaped a conversation with a man who happened to be quote unquote aggressive or happened to be in the closet or whatever. She probably did that for her own protection. Now exposing, I don't agree with exposing, but you know this world too. How many times on Love and Hip Hop, and I'm not talking about gay stories, I'm just talking about just straight on, when the guys with their girl, they partner, and they like, oh, I don't know her, I don't like her, she showed up at a thing, and out of the blue, this woman comes up to the girl and say, you know what, he knows me. So it gave me that moment. It didn't give me nothing out of the blue for his lifestyle. The Benzinos and the Stevie J's, that's their world. Those are the girls they deal with. I don't care if you're trans, straight, or whatever. Your life is dramatic. The girls are always exposing you about something. So just because it happened to be trans right now doesn't mean that it's the biggest thing. You're always getting exposed for the dirt you do in the closet.
Now, they said black women are dying every 5 hours. So, do you mean like out of the LGBT community, the trans?
The trans community. I'm talking about the trans girls. The trans girls are they are constantly under attack. And so that's why some of the trans girls in the community do take precautions when it comes to their lovers, because they don't want to flipping out on them and not having evidence about what they're doing. Not all trans girls are exposing, but some of them take precautions of the guys they deal with. At least that's what I'm not trans, but I know I got girls, friends who are.
Right.
Yeah, but when it comes to labeling, I would tell people, who get bothered by it, please just look at that thing and don't pay no mind. I think it might be the white man's government telling you to use these labels, but I'm not sure if anybody in the community is really worried about it.
I feel you. I'm going to say this. I think these are conversations we need to have more so that people can just come to some kind of agreement, because
I say ignore it. I say if cis and all that kind of stuff bothers you, then ignore it. Don't worry about it. I'm not putting that label on nobody. And when it comes to that crazy man, so this is what I'm going to say to you, Mr. Storm, because I'm getting off that subject. I think that you're fabulous, because what you did with that idea with this man who was shooting, the manosphere. You were talking about the way society is now, the way social media is now, and who's falling through the cracks and yada yada, who's angry. I thought that was brilliant. I need you to write some of that stuff down, because you didn't miss anything. It was funny. It was very insightful about just your idea of the way the world is. You said a lot of things tonight. I was like, oh my God, you need to write some of the stuff down, because I was listening to him. I was like, wow, it was pretty It was some new things.
It's the truth. It's the truth. People got to understand, man. You know, the way life is now in the last 10 years.
That's right.
You don't really have to leave your house. You don't really have to interact. We ain't even going in the office no more. So I can really live my life and just be in these four walls. I really can.
Yeah. So what you're
everything I need will be sent to me. I got Netflix to keep me occupied on the weekends. Like I'm telling you. But what happens is when you are not above average looking, when you are not someone with some kind of clout, when you are
60 years old, or
when you're just the average man or below,
come on now,
you feel slighted. You feel slighted, and then not having human interaction, you start to develop mental illnesses. You may already be mentally ill. Being isolated makes the shit worse. Then you can get online and find any creator to push any fucking narrative. It's hard to find a creator that is truly neutral. Pretty much everybody's trying to push something on y'all, right? Whatever you gonna buy and bite at. So then before you know it, you start thinking, yeah, you know, women are the problem. Yeah, you know, because women. Let me tell you something. It's so bad. You got men saying, I ain't gonna never get married and have no kids. Look what happened to Jesse Williams. First of all, bitch, you ain't even made $40,000 in a year. When are you ever gonna pay $40,000 a month in child support? Ever? Come
on now.
Ever. So we compare ourselves to celebrities, which you already got that shit fucked up because you ain't that. I could go on and on and on.
It's true, but I think that you're right. That man who did that, I mean, take the jokes aside. Obviously, he is, you know, a very unhappy person. He's a 60-year-old person. You know, he looked like he had health problems. You know, with his weight and all that kind of issue of fake skin, and you know, so when you said that, I was like, oh damn, that man fell through the cracks because of so many different things. So yeah, you're right. If people ain't measuring up on social media or doing whatever they're doing or whatever, the new world, then we have to, in society, have to look out in these communities and say, okay, are you falling through the cracks? Are you unhappy? Are you going out to be attacking people? I don't want innocent people to die because some people is feeling, you know, not keeping up with the times, basically.
But it's going to happen. It's going to happen more until people really start acknowledging what incels are, the issues they deal with. I mean, we need incel therapy out here and how to deal with it, because as time goes on and people have more and more perceived options, the men that are short, the men that are overweight, the men that are not attractive, ain't got no money. Everybody online talking about you got to make $100K. That is not realistic for the majority of people in this country, period.
Right.
Let me get on my soapbox. All you motherfuckers going on these shows and y'all all just happen to make $100K. I don't fucking believe you. I don't.
Right.
Y'all be lying. I don't. Everybody is not making $100K. You just not. You making a cool $15 an hour, and that's cool.
Yeah. Well, so you know what I'm going to say before I log off? I think you're right. I think so. My conclusion is, if you happen to be 62, whatever that man is, maybe you don't need to be on social media because you sound like you can't handle it. And because if you're up there and you see what everybody else is doing and you can't measure up, please don't go out shoot nobody because you're not keeping up with the times. So I think that you're right on with these ideas. Absolutely. But you know what? I'm glad. Again, I love calling in, love talking, and there we go. Just sending good vibes.
Thank you. Have a good one. All right.
You too, sir.
All right. All right. Wow, we've been on here way longer than what I thought, but that's okay. Is it Leasia?
It's Leasia. Hey, Storm.
How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What's on your mind?
All right. Oh, first, let my mama say hello. Mama's on, mama. Oh, is that Storm? Hi, Storm.
How you doing, mama?
But all right, let's talk about these incels real quick. All right.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm 21, just getting into the world, and you know, it's just like I'm on a college campus, and like my roommate was telling me how, like, our first semester, this dude came up to her and some friends and was like, "Oh, you don't talk to me? Well, fuck y'all then." I was just like, "Oh my god, like that happens for real?"
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just like, I'm one of them girls. I'm an average person, but I'm just like, wow, that really be happening to people. Like, ain't never happened to me. I usually get old men trying to talk to me, and it's so weird.
And I feel you on that too. You like, dang, I want somebody. There's something, and you know what? I got to do research on that. There's something with that because the opposite sex, my age, they don't like me, but older do. It's weird.
It is.
It's weird, right? But then maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe we just mature. I don't know.
Maybe because we're both Tauruses, okay? Maybe it's just that Taurus energy, and I know you're not into horoscopes and stuff.
Right. But you never know. It's come to it.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Leisure.
Uh-huh.
I think that due to, of course, so many fatherless homes, men are not, and women, we're growing up in homes that are not balanced with the male and the female energy, right? And so unless you're conscious enough to really go out and really balance yourself and learn how to do that, I believe you really just, you get weird, right? Then most folks is just socially awkward. Can we just say that?
That's me. That's me. I don't be talking to people. I might say throw a compliment out to people and try to have conversation, but I don't get into conversations.
We don't practice that art of communication, right? And it goes for the men and the women. Ladies, you gotta be talking about something too. Cause even sometimes I get some DMs and it's just like, that's what you talking about? Like wow. Like and there's no shade because a lot of girls feel like, well, I got a pussy, you fuck me, that's it. It's like, no, you gotta talk too. Like I
You
actually
gotta
want
be
to know.
interesting. Like, nope,
Yeah.
you're not interesting no more.
But if you in the house all day and you don't do nothing, then you're not really developing yourself. And so I just think time goes on and it's easy to get into the routine of work, Netflix, drinking, work, Netflix, drinking, and before you know it, you don't even recognize yourself no more.
Exactly. It's like, okay, so I'm one of them people that play The Sims, and that's exactly what I'll be making my Sims to. Go to work, go to school, lay down, do all over again.
Just like that. It happens. I mean, I even like when I had my quarter life crisis at 25, I'm just like, I'm working a job I hate, driving a effing Kia. It was just a lot. I'm like, man, this apartment says like it was just a lot. I'm like, I gotta get my shit together. So
I feel like that's me now though, for real. Because I feel like at the age, I'm gonna be 22, and I'm like, I feel like I should be doing so much more than what I'm doing now.
Well, I say this: work on yourself, love yourself, and I'm gonna say for anybody that's raising kids, please like put self-esteem and confidence into your kids. Please stop tearing your kids down because that should be evident as well when they get wrong. Like
that part right there.
Put life into your kids, please. But thank you for coming on, Lasia.
Thank you, bye, Storm.
Bye bye. Have a good night now.
You too.
All right. What's going on, Lola?
Hi, Storm. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You whispering? You ain't held captive, are you?
Oh no. I'm sorry. My voice is just a little light.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay. You got that sexy bedroom voice, so I hear you.
Oh, thank you. Man, my head is spinning at this point because this conversation has been so long. I feel like everything's been talked about, but honestly, I just want to answer the question first. Okay, for me personally, being with a man who's into trans women isn't my preference, but if it was the right man and I understood his reasoning for why he was into it, I wouldn't be entirely opposed to it for the right person. And I hope that at some point in life, we can get to the point where there's not so many stigmas with things, because a lot of times when you shun people, then that leads them to being down low. You
Well,
know,
let
we
me
have
stop
the
you
right.
right there. Let me stop right there. Don't
Go
lose your
ahead.
train of thought. I also want to throw in, how do women feel about a guy that he's not gay? Obviously, if he's talking to you, he's not bisexual, but in his past, he has experimented with a homeboy or with a man. He sucked a D, or he let a dude suck his D, or got fucked, but just once. How do y'all also feel about that? I want to add that part in.
Well, I definitely can't speak for everyone because I'm sure most people disagree with me. But for me, like, I'm not opposed to dating someone bisexual. Like, I'm not opposed to those things personally. There's a lot of other things that I would have more of an issue with than that. But that's just for me. Again, that's not my preference. I would prefer someone who's never done any of those things. But I also want to invite people to feel comfortable enough to express that to me. Even if I decide, hey, you're not for me, I don't want to shun you to where you feel like, oh, you can't express that. Because everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, a lot of people do a lot of crazy things that they're afraid to share. A lot of men are out here on drugs that they're keeping quiet. A lot of men are into a lot of like slave play, race fetishes that they don't say. And I don't want to shut someone down from being able to express that, and then at least giving me the opportunity to walk away and say, okay, this isn't for me. But because I wouldn't want to be in a situation where I'm with a guy like Benzino, where he's doing this and I don't know because he didn't feel comfortable to tell me. At least if he feels comfortable to tell me, then I can leave. But I also am under the impression of I don't really I won't say I don't have anything personally against trans people at all whatsoever. I don't agree with the lifestyle, but it's also something that I can't relate to because I don't have those feelings. So I respect that. What
Right, right.
my main issue though is like every community, there's bad apples everywhere. And a lot of trans women are very disrespectful. I've met a lot of amazing trans women who are totally respectful of, not calling me sis, not calling me things that I feel uncomfortable with. But there's some people who try to push their stuff on us, and that leads to disrespect. As well as like the lady in this story, I can't respect a woman that enjoys outing another man, especially when you claim that you're a woman just like me. If you're a woman just like me, then what is there to out, as you said earlier? And I feel like a lot of them really take pleasure in holding our men against us, bragging about being with our men, and that's just very disrespectful. But at the same time, at the same time, I have to give some advice to us women.
One last point, man.
Trans
One last point. One last
Okay, I'm sorry. Trans women are our direct competition. They really are because a lot of them, they display a lot of femininity. They have to go out of their way to be feminine because they're not, biological women. In addition to the fact that they've been men, so they understand men in a lot of ways that we don't because they've been men. So they
Wow.
can look so it's hard enough that they a lot of them look amazing, especially out here in California where I live. They look phenomenal.
Yeah, they
And
can
then
pay
on
for
top
that
of
work.
that,
They look, yeah, you can't even tell.
yes, and then on top of that, they have the inside of a man that I could never have because they were born one. They have the entire recipe to take our men from us. So women, like, we got to be on our shit. That's
And
all I'm
Lola, let me
saying.
say this. Let me say this. It's only one part I think you left out.
Okay.
We also got one more thing on y'all.
What?
I don't want to. I'm just saying, if we thinking like that, one more thing. Dudes can screw them raw, come in them, and they can't get pregnant.
Yes, and men love anal. Even with women, they love it. A lot of them.
And they also love not having to worry about child support.
Oh, amen.
See,
I'm sorry.
when you take out that whole aspect of pregnancy, that's why gay men don't use condoms like that. There's no worry of pregnancy. Like,
And a lot of them are, I'm sure, really good in bed because they're born men. They know what men like. They probably be throwing it back and sucking it and all that better than a lot of us ever could. So I'm just saying, women, we got to be on our shit. Thank you, Storm.
Thank you, Lola. Have a good night, all right? All right. I want to thank you, Miss Spirited. You always dropping dollars on me. I appreciate that. I need it, so I appreciate it. She said, loving the intellect you're displaying and the listening ear you're giving your calls. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But one point I wanted to bring up from M. Spinelli. Honestly, Storm, many people who are sexually active at a young age, I think, have experienced with something, when they were younger, even if it was once. And I believe you're absolutely right. I was not sexually active at a young age. I lost my virginity late, 18 going on 19. So I was late in the game. And then I grew up disciplined, religious to a certain, basically premarital sex was not allowed in my house. So I always thought that was a bad thing before I let religion go. But anyway, I say all that to say, yeah, a lot of people have, but then a lot of people have not had that opportunity to experiment as a youngin. And so now they out here 35, 40, 45 years old, rediscovering themselves. But by then they got a marriage and kids, and it gets bad. It gets bad. Thank you for those super chats. We just got a super chat from Tanisha Kennedy. Thank you. Thank you. Storm's #1 fan. What's going on?
Oh, hi. I just wanted to say happy, Wednesday? And in reference to your transgender conversation. So I think it's all about tolerance, right? I pride myself on making people feel comfortable, even if I don't get the same respect back. I'm a bigger person. And at the end of the day, there are some, celebrities in Hollywood like Laverne Cox, whom we all love, I'm pretty sure, who's a transgender woman. And it doesn't harm me to call transgender women women. It does nothing to my own womanhood. It doesn't threaten it. It doesn't, slight me in any way. So that's my 2 cents. And I'm your #1 fan, by the way.
I know you are, and I appreciate that.
And my mom account.
And I'm gonna say, your mom's birthday is tomorrow, right?
No, it was on the 9th, and yours is coming up too soon.
Okay. Well, I will say, yeah, you take care. Thank you for your comments. We ain't gonna tell them all my business on here, but you absolutely right. Tolerance is what we're trying to get to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I love you. Bye.
Love you too. Have a good one now. Oh, she didn't pick that fucking picture. I love you though. Let's run through what's going on, IG.
What's happening, Storm? We talked before. I'm the brother from New Orleans. We had the conversation a little while ago. My bad, Doc. I was getting out the shower after I had the funky ass camera on. I'm like, oh no, baby. I made a mistake and I clicked the button, so I wasn't trying to do all that. But what I kind of noticed, I don't know nothing about the celebrity. I'm just really getting the news from you. What I noticed, especially in the Black community, with men who typically engage in homosexuality, that are not same gender loving, it's easier for them to engage with trans women and cross-dressing women because society has told men that are gender expressive, regardless of their sexuality, that they're not men. This has told straight Black men or sexually curious Black men that because I'm really with a man performing as a woman, I'm not with a real man, despite being attracted to that person or engaging in things in that bedroom because of that person being a man. It's kind of like they've gone along with the narrative that you kind of hear this type of rhetoric. If the one who is giving and dishing it out, just because it's the one that plays the more, I guess, penetrative role in sex and heterosexual normatives, men on the down low and gay relationships often mirror that. So even though it's twisted that this is not a natural born female, because the way that we see things a lot of times and the way that we put labels on boys who don't do certain things, and that's a really important part. I really, really wanted to kind of point that out too. Is like, even with us speaking, saying that, oh, you see a child and you think they're going to be this way in the third. So I actually think that's disgusting. And let me tell you why. Because personally, how the fuck we talking about children based off of a behavior of expression, what they're going to do in their prepubescent? They're fucking asexual. How do you know? Why are you speaking on someone who didn't go through puberty yet on what their potential sexual acts mean? So if that's being done, often more than not, it's done by the heterosexual community. You don't see homosexual, openly gay, same gender loving people or trans people for that matter saying, oh yeah, child, that child definitely gonna be a sissy. No. It's often the people who are not in that community speaking on them things. And that really just shows that that's a privilege that heterosexuals don't realize that they have. You have the privilege of creating something from your sexuality, but then hating that something that you created and say that it's not you. But they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and how you fuck.
Ooh, you know what? I feel like I need a panel, and I just need to let straight people and gay people go at it. Cause
yeah, I mean, I do a little YouTube. I started a little funky ass YouTube channel called Beyond the Rainbow, and I really, because a lot of times, every time you talk, or well, not you, but when most people hear about black gay men or black gay life in general, it's always from the industry. You know, it's always from being somebody's fucking entertainer, doing somebody's hair. No, there are plenty regular, everyday black Americans, same gender loving people that aren't in the industry that don't agree with the alphabet soup community. Because quiet as kept, it's really not female black trans women don't have power, boo. It's white trans women that have the power. So essentially, you're dealing with white men who've always been at the top. Think about this for a second. You have a white man who's at the top of the totem pole. So no wonder black people are powerless to do anything about them coming to your spaces. Well, when the man decides to be the woman who's at the top of the totem pole, what more can you do? How can you really fight against that? So there's plenty of us who are same gender loving and black that don't identify with the alphabet soup community. So I know I probably said a mouthful like, oh boy, but that's classic behavior, Herman. Like in New Orleans, we see that. What the thing was kind of fucking me up too. We didn't have this thing called transgender. I'm not saying people didn't exist, but it wasn't based off of sensational, like being sensationalized. It wasn't just based off of a sexual undertone. No, there were some men like that. I do believe in the sense of you can be born knowing what your expression is, your energy. That don't denote what you do in your bedroom. You could be born knowing that you're different, that you might not be part of the norm of what socially people say, but that's not necessarily a sexually inclusive way of looking at that. Now, is it?
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm gonna leave that there because that is so many different so many different lanes I can go in with that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave that there, and we almost hit 2 hours, so I'm gonna call it a night. I appreciate you coming on. All right.
I appreciate you, Doc. Later.
Thank you guys so much to everybody who tuned in. I'm gonna call it a night because I don't want this going longer than 2 hours. All right. Make sure you are on my text list. 678-679-6077. I think that's pretty much it, y'all. I will catch you guys